They're Elsie Pine and Wendy Connaughton. They're members of the Court of St. James chapter of the Daughters of the British Empire. They're here to talk about the group and the garden party tea they had recently in town to celebrate the nuptials of William and Catherine. Welcome, ladies. I'm so glad that you're here with me today.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's
Thank
nice
you.
to be here.
It is.
So, first of all, explain to the listeners what is the Daughters of the British Empire? Go ahead.
I'll pass that on
Either
to
one of
Wendy.
you.
Sure.
Yes.
Daughters of the British Empire in California, Inc. It's been around since 1909. It was started by our founder, and it's a group of British ladies of British ancestry who get together. It's fundraising for the British home in Sierra Madre, and also an opportunity for us to socialize with each other.
Okay, and what was interesting was I had the opportunity to attend this wonderful garden party and meet all these terrific ladies, and there's such a lovely mix of you in the chapter. And Wendy, it is interesting too that as you told me, you have an American accent, but you are definitely British, and members come from all over the world. So what are some of the continents that they might have come from?
They do. We have members in our group from Australia, Canada, New Zealand, England, Scotland.
Mm-hmm.
You name it, wherever the British people have been, that's all part of it. Well, who's going to talk about, we'd like to know now for people that are listening and they say, gee, my grandmother was born there, my great-grandmother was born there, I'd like to join this group. What are the requirements for membership? Either one of you ladies.
You are a resident of the U.S., but born or have ancestry in any of the countries we've just talked about. Anything that was part of the British Commonwealth, even if it has since gained its independence.
And how far back in ancestry can one go?
Well,
as far back
as you
as
can
far as
you go
from the beginning.
And also, if your husband or partner is of British ancestry, you're also eligible to join.
Right. Now there is a website. I don't know. I have that website. I
have it
mention
right here. It's www.dbecalifornia-inc.org.
And it's a very nice website. It has a list of all of the chapters and where they're all located. And what is the name of the local chapter again? It's the
Court of St.
James.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how does that work, the name of each chapter? Who decides what it's going to be called? I just thought that was kind of fun that they all had different names.
I believe when they set the chapter up, originally the chapter in Palm Springs had been called Monty's Desert Rats.
Right.
Oh, how un-British. Well, I guess Monty, no, he was in the desert during the war.
I
think they chose another name because you do have the option of choosing a name from the list.
Yeah.
Right.
That's kind of fun, though, the desert rats. You
Rats.
don't think of all these posh ladies being called the
No.
desert rats. So what kind of, does one need to give you proof or just call and say, well, my ancestors were from England or Ireland or wherever, and
That's pretty much it.
Well,
pretty
they
much
do
it.
come. They let us know they're interested, or someone sometimes meets somebody. You're in a grocery store, you hear a British accent, and
Right.
you start talking to them, and you mention the club. And people can contact our current regent, Ann Dix, also. She doesn't mind getting phone calls if someone wants more information.
Would you
or
like
would
to
like
give that?
Join. Yes, her name is Ann Dix, 760-964-9409.
So all of the listeners have a telephone number to call. They have a website to look at. Let's talk a little bit about, you have monthly meetings. What do you do at these? Are they luncheons, or do you just sit around and chat, or what do you do there?
We plan our next fundraiser. We have fundraisers every month. And we raise money, and the money goes towards the British home in Sierra Madre.
So each month you plan a fundraiser within the valley to raise funds for the home that's located in the valley.
Yes.
What are some of the things you've done in the past?
Well, it's usually within our group, and someone will host a luncheon at their home, or we'll all meet out somewhere for breakfast, and then put a donation in.
Oh,
On
that's
top,
nice.
on top of the breakfast, we
Right.
will add $5 or $10, and that will go
Yes,
towards
exactly.
the home.
It's not that expensive.
No,
It's like what
no.
was done at the garden party. That
Exactly.
was, and everyone, and we'll talk about the garden party, but let's talk about this event in Pasadena that all of the ladies from the various chapters are going to be attending, and it's in June. What is the date of that?
It's the first Saturday in June each year, so that's the 4th, isn't it?
It's June 4th.
This year.
And where is that going to take place? Where in Pasadena is that?
It's at the British Home, which actually is in Sierra Madre. It's right on the border of Pasadena and Sierra Madre, and the address is 647 Manzanita Avenue in Sierra Madre.
Well, again, if anybody listening wants to attend that, they can contact the president and get that information.
Right.
Let's talk a little bit about what is going on at this event. What do they call it? A fair? Is it a fair or
It's the June Fair.
the June Fair?
Faire.
Of course,
Of
the
course.
British way. And what can we expect there? And what is your local chapter doing to contribute to it?
Well, it starts at 10 a.m. and goes till 3 in the afternoon. There's no admission charge. It's free to the public, and they will have booths selling British items,
Give an example. Food and what else?
British food like scones,
Sausage rolls.
sausage rolls.
And did I hear correctly that your chapter is going to make pasties? Pasties.
Cornish pasties.
Yeah, not
We have-
pasties.
we
Pasties are
we haven't
something
got to
else.
that. Was one of our ladies going to make?
I think
Someone
is.
told me
they
they
were going to make. Well, yes, maybe that would be.
Scones,
Yeah,
sausage
well,
rolls.
my grandmother used to make those.
I
have
make them myself.
Yes, I have my grandma's recipe, and
Yeah.
they are my favorite. So I hope that somebody's going to
Yes.
make them.
And shortbread. Are you planning to come?
Oh, I'm planning on coming. Oh, I definitely
Very
am
nice.
going to come. Oh, yes, have all of that good
Actually,
food.
chutney and English toffee. I mean, the girls are all quite good at all the
Oh, I'm
English
sure.
Well,
baking.
they all have a specialty, and so they're just. For instance, I'm making shortbread, English shortbread.
That's good.
And
well,
it's,
I brought shortbread to the party, but I
Yes, you did,
I
but
did
that was-
admit that I
came in a
bought
box.
it. I said, this is as close to as I can get to shortbread. Well, I enjoyed it, I think. So what other things, when you talk about there's going to be other British things, will there be little things to buy, like flags or porcelains or things like that?
Well,
Do we
one
know?
of our members had some family who brought over some memorabilia from the wedding, and so there'll be.
And that was in the picture that was in the paper. The
Yes.
little
Yes,
round
the
ones
little,
with the...
little. We had them on what do you call those? Aussie Bites,
The-
and they had the
yes.
little rice paper picture of William and Catherine.
William and Catherine. Did you
Yes.
see the picture in the paper?
I
in the
did,
Desert
yes,
Sun?
it was lovely.
Was
Turned
a
out
lovely
very
picture.
nice.
Yes,
Lucky
we're very
Sheila
pleased.
got her picture standing at the
Yes,
Yes,
at the
she
buffet.
She was
Yes.
right out front, right out front.
Well, I have to admit I did not save that rice paper. I ate it like
Oh well,
others
that's
did.
what you're supposed to
Well,
do.
but a
lot
couple
of people
them,
didn't.
No,
they threw
a
it
coup-
away. They didn't know it was edible.
Well, a couple of them saved it too.
Oh, well, that's true. They
Yes,
just saved it.
yes.
Yes.
So, anything else you want to say about the fair? Because I do want to get to the wedding a little bit.
Well, just that they'll be having raffles. The home itself raffles cash prizes. I think the top prize is $1,000. So we
Oh.
do sell raffle tickets for
Well,
that.
and the home, it's a home for the elderly, is
Yes,
it?
yes.
Of British descent?
It used to be. Originally, it was started for British ladies only. And of course, now it's men, women, any nationality.
Any national,
Yes.
it's not just. Well, that's good to know for the listeners, too, that we're not just, if you come, you're not just supporting, even though it's wonderful to just support the British, but the fact that you've expanded is really marvelous. Can we talk a little bit about, unless there's something else you
I
want to
just
add
had one
quickly?
thing. I did want to add one thing. It's our motto, which is very important to us. It's
All
a very
right.
simple but powerful phrase, not ourselves but the cause. It's repeated at the beginning of each monthly meeting, and these simple words define us as a group and what we do. It's really, really important, and it is not ourselves but the cause, because that's what
lovely.
we do.
That is
It's
that is
simple.
lovely. Okay, I think the first thing everyone would like to know is from each of you, what did you think of the wedding? What was your favorite, and what did you think of the dress? Let's talk
Let's
about
talk
the
about the dress.
Everyone
The
wanted
dress.
to talk about the dress.
The dress. Well, my impression, and then maybe Wendy can, it was a 50s style to me. reminiscent of a 50s style dress. Of course, it's a Sarah Burton dress, and with the V-neck, it gave it a sort of modern look. I thought she looked absolutely stunning.
she's so gorgeous.
Just absolutely stunning. The detailing on the dress, actually, and on the cake itself was the 4 flowers of the home nations. The cake was adorned with English rose, Scottish thistle, Welsh daffodil, and Irish shamrock, and the same on the sleeves and the dress itself.
And that
it
lace,
was beautiful.
that was all
lace
made
was
by hand.
handmade,
Everything,
yes.
of course, was sewn
Yes.
by hand. The
Yes.
entire gown was sewn by hand. So that was incredible.
Yeah.
What was the biggest surprise? I know what the biggest surprise was to the world, but what did you think when they came out and William was driving the Aston Martin?
Oh, that was fabulous. Well, that to me, I mean, that breaking from tradition.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, because she wore a dress that was an
Wendy, you
Alexander McQueen dress. They
and you
kissed
jump
twice.
into, yes.
Yes,
Let's
Wendy.
let
Sure.
Wendy give some
Okay.
thoughts here on that.
No, I just
too.
wanted
Yes.
to say that you said that homemade lace, but it was done by the Royal School of Needlework.
Oh, right.
They had
Well,
to
I don't
wash-
mean someone in their house made it. I mean,
No.
it was
No, no, no.
handmade.
Handmade.
But they
of
had
course.
to wash their hands every 30 minutes and change their needles every
Every
3
hour.
Yes,
hours.
yes,
Absolutely
it was
incredible
extraordinary.
what went into
What
that.
to me was so wonderful too is all of the fashion people in the world and their remarks about that gown, that they do believe it will go down in history. And of course, there are many people watching that didn't remember the 50s, don't remember the 50s. So to them, the wedding gown was really very modern and very different from
modern,
what was
yes.
being shown. Strapless gowns were very popular for a long time. And it was so Catherine. The gown was so
Yes.
Catherine
Perfect.
Yes.
of her taste and absolutely spectacular. What else did you find fun in all of that?
Well, I thought, they all expected her to wear her hair up. And then
Yes.
when she wore it down and she said she wanted William to be able to recognize it.
that was
very-
At
charming.
the altar and not look like someone,
Yes.
she never
Yes,
does wear her
and
hair
the
up,
see-through
apparently.
veil, you could see her
Oh,
so
yeah. The
clearly.
tulle, yes.
And didn't
Beautiful.
you love one of the things that I love about these weddings are the fact that all of the attendants are these gorgeous little children.
Oh, beautiful.
And that was so adorable. And the little girl, who was the little girl, do you know, that was holding her ears when they came out
I
on the balcony to
Don't know
kiss?
her name
Don't know
except
her
she
name.
was William's goddaughter.
Yes,
I
yes.
did hear that.
Well, she was holding her ears because they had the flyover.
Flyover.
Oh, she was so cute. And didn't the sister as her
Pippa,
attendant
yeah,
was
Pippa looked absolutely
gorgeous,
lovely.
yeah.
Her dress was spectacular, both
Yeah.
just beautiful.
And
Just
of course,
Well,
Harry.
I wish that we had heard more about the party afterwards, because I did hear a little something yesterday about Henry. No,
Harry.
Harry. I was going to say they're not King Henry. Harry, and the party that he threw, and it went on until the wee small hours, and I guess he had a very good time.
I'm sure he did.
I heard the
Sure.
Queen left the palace so that they could enjoy themselves. They probably went to their other home and let them after
They
had the
probably
family
wanted to
party.
go to bed after
Yeah.
that long day. Let's face it. How old is the Queen now?
85.
85, and
Yeah.
she's still going strong. But you know, the thing was, after all of the terrible things that have been going on in the world, our economy and everything else, I think this was such a joy and such a jolt to everyone's
I agree.
nature
I
and feeling.
I agree. And a
being
lot
good.
of a friend of mine just came back from England, and he told me that a lot of companies in London gave their employees the day off, so everybody just enjoyed it thoroughly.
I loved the reaction to the people as they were watching.
The crowd's a testament to how well respected the royal family is, and what an occasion it was.
And don't you think that William and Catherine have given some clues as to what life would be like under them? They are modern. They are young. I think. Do you agree? It's given a boost to the
Absolutely.
monarchy and.
Oh, a boost
Absolutely.
everywhere. That's what we said at our meeting. We had a meeting last Monday, and our May meeting, and everybody was saying how it's just been such an upbeat.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah,
and
for
on
everyone.
that note, I want to thank you for coming.